Okay, what's up, Nigeria? What's up, Africa? It's Blackface Niger. Read a book today because if you read a book, you empower yourself. And they say knowledge is power, and you know how it is. I've been reading all my life, but you gotta start reading right now if you really haven't started reading. And read a book today, and make sure you let what is in that book sink in. And that's what's up. And I'm out.
Otumba, this book is a classic. I mean, it's a classic on entrepreneurship. And I got wondering while reading it, I've been looking out for your autobiography for a while. And when I saw this and when I was reading it, I was wondering why you decided to write a memoir rather than an autobiography. And this is a very good memoir, by the way. But I'm curious, why did you choose to write this rather than what one would expect?
Well, listen, have you ever seen an autobiography that doesn't say that they were lucky, they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and when they finished, they had all this thing, or like an old friend of mine had done, said that it was the grace of God? No. That's an autobiography. Of course, intertwined is the information about how they made it. But the point is that it's a glorified information about what you cannot attain. So I then started doing another research, looking at people like Jack Welch, world-renowned managers, a guy who built up Tesco's in the UK. What they do, what are they writing about? What is their experience in management? And I came up to the conclusion that, look, that is what I want to talk about. And that is why I changed the whole book from what may look as part autobiography, because you got to know who I am, where I am, what's driving me, in order to be able to understand what, and that's what those people wrote about. They wrote about what the experiences and what drove them.
In page 19, and my copy is all marked. In page 19, you wrote about Medifarm. That was the first book you published, and that book launched you into the publishing industry. Can you say a bit about that experience?
When we started, this book is now done by computerization, so it's much easier to edit. But when we started, when we compiled the thing, I had to design the book as it is. And when we're going to edit, when I have these things where we cut the book into pieces, paste it so that the printer can use that, because they were using hot metal to set the book at the time. So we had to cut it. Of course, my wife and I sat down on a Sunday or a weekend and cut it and re-edit it and put it all together to pack it and give it to the printer to put into the form it is at the moment. And you can see, it was so detailed, and I could not afford to make a mistake, because this is going to doctors and pharmacists about the information that's there. If I make a mistake, of course, they'll look at me as a stupid man. So I had to read and go to the printer twice a day to edit the book, to make sure that the book that comes out was a good book. And that was why most people thought that a book like that cannot survive in Nigeria. Well, it survived. I became an instant celebrity when a book came out. A book like this, done by an African, all the expatriates didn't believe I could sustain it. I wrote that in the book. Everybody did. I remember when I gave the third quarter copy to one expatriate in USC, he just looked at me and thought, you must be joking. Well, 45 years afterwards, I'm not joking.
What has it been like running a publishing firm in Nigeria for 45 years consistently?
Well, I think maybe I've read something about that too. It's been hard. It's not a tea party. It's nerve-wracking. You have to build an institution. Like I said earlier on, and I was talking to even my son the other day, you need actually all those 45 years to get to where I am at the moment. If I didn't, I would have fallen by the wayside. There was so plenty of opportunities, and they're in the book. And there are plenty of minefields that I have to navigate in order to move on from one step to the other. From building a printing press to publish Memoir, to even having a plastic manufacturing department in order to add value to what I was doing, in order to be able to market it, in order to be able to fund, in order to be able to get working capital. There are lots of problems. But here I am. There's no way I can tell you here when all the sleepless nights I have. And you see, let me also tell you something. Providence has to do with all the things you do. Call it God. Do you get my point? He's there all the time. And when he's throwing it at your lap, don't run away from it. Grab it with both hands. So that would have said, okay, you can say I stumbled into it, but I didn't let it go. It became something that I built my whole organization on today, because I abandoned pharmacy altogether and I became a publisher, an indigenous publisher. The fear of failure is one big problem for an entrepreneur, because you can fail. One trigger, like I said, by one bank manager can, but again, you probably have to be smart to walk around the bank manager, to walk around everything. Somewhere I did it, I managed to do it, but I can tell you, it's not a tea party. Well, but again, what we talk about is purpose, the honesty of purpose. What do you yourself want to achieve? I wanted to make a difference in whatever I did. It doesn't matter whether I was running a pharmacy or running a publishing or even being married. I needed to make a difference. A difference is that you must have candor and honesty of purpose. Where are you going? What do you want to achieve? Success or failure? And if you want to achieve success, well, there are prices to pay. And that is when you succeed. The other